for Motohop on Air.
Welcome to episode 14.
14, don't be mean.
I was wondering if you had another.
I was going to stop. I think on 13 I was waving a flag, but I just felt inspired. You know, you got to live in the moment.
Well, that's good.
And everyone can hear me because my voice is lower. So I'm going to take full advantage of being heard today.
Because you're possibly getting sick. We'll see.
I think it's just a little cold, which, you know what, I'll take a little cold over the alternative.
Yeah. It is November 29th as we record this.
You missed a week?
Yep. We took a week off, slightly inadvertently. We had talked about doing some type of Black Friday, Cyber Monday show, and then, you know,
life happens.
Yeah. Thanksgiving, ended up spending a bunch of time in a garage that isn't mine, which was fun.
It's good to change things up. It's just weird to go into a 4-day weekend and you're like, man, I'm going to have so much time. I had design stuff I was going to do. I'm like, 4 days off. How amazing is that? And then our dog got sick. You helped a buddy with his car. And before we knew it, it was Sunday night and we were both depressed. So
I wouldn't say depressed, but
Monday's scary is not because of the weekend.
Time ran away faster than we thought it was going to, for sure.
Indeed. And the exhaustion, which I don't know why it happens. It just happens.
Turkey.
That's such a lame cop out.
You ate too much turkey.
I ate one piece of turkey. I'm team.
Obviously more than you can handle.
I'm team sides giving.
Sides giving?
I don't need no turkey. Just give me the sides.
Okay.
So, do you have a cup?
I do. Before we get into that, I would just like to let the interwebs know it is a wonderful 30 degrees currently in Akron, Ohio. That is Fahrenheit, in case you're overseas in a place that uses Celsius.
And that's outside, not inside our house.
Correct, yeah. But it is, and that is warmer than it's been the past couple days.
Yeah, it really felt quite refreshing today walking the dogs as compared to yesterday where I had heated gloves on. Today I was able to leave the heated gloves at home and the second pair of pants. Yeah,
it's the part of the year that working on vehicles gets infinitely less fun if you do not have a way to heat a workspace.
Yeah. I can see that.
I didn't do anything fun. We are opening a garage beer.
I think you got some on your keyboard.
Maybe. I have a second one on deck.
You always do.
Yeah, we're going to make through both of them. I'm very confident.
You just have to remember carbonation and talking in a microphone is so bad.
That's what a mute button's for.
Burping.
I put the first one. No, mute. You mute. Then you burp. Then you unmute. Put the first one in the turn it on, turn it up, turn me loose koozie.
Which I think
for all the Dwight fans out there.
Did you receive that one on accident or was that one on purpose?
No, I ordered this one on purpose.
Oh.
I forget the second one that was supposed to come with this, but I got a Lizzie Lives, Thin Lizzie koozie.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. It's a backup koozie for other people. I was stoked for this one, though. Oh. What do you have?
I have some piping hot tea because I like to live on the edge.
You almost put one in that had how many milligrams of caffeine?
70 per bag.
Holy moly, many.
And this is a big cup. I was going to put 2 bags in. We aren't all as resilient as you are. And I might be able to handle it, but I'd rather not find out.
Yeah.
So, did you buy anything for Black Friday? I honestly don't know if you have or not.
I don't know if I have or not. No, I don't think I bought anything. I looked around. The only thing I wanted to buy was that Greenworks mini bike.
But
it was still $1,000. And I'm waiting on a Moto Compacto.
Your Moto Compacto is in the oven.
Trying to be a responsible person.
Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. Tractor Supply, if you have not looked at the Greenworks mini bike, it runs on their 60-volt battery platform. Pretty sweet. Swappable batteries, built-in Bluetooth speakers. Does something more than it needs to. I think it's 25 or 30 miles an hour. They had it.
It's really fast for a mini bike.
Yeah, they had it 33% off. So it was marked down from $1,500 to $1,000.
I wonder how many they sold. I wonder if it's going to be like
a bunch.
Oh crap, we have too many, and they'll have another sale before end of year or something.
I was wondering if it was just like a permanent markdown because I didn't see it anywhere specifically other than I had opened it for some reason and it was like, oh, it's marked down like a lot. And then I think I checked yesterday and it was back up at 1,500. So I was like, well, I guess that was temporary. But,
yeah. I've heard some people speculating that like all these Black Friday sales and stuff are like, they mark things up to mark them down. And I think you just have to be smart about what you're buying because I'm sure that happens.
Well, we kind of discovered one-ish earlier. I don't think it was intentional.
Right?
No, that the toolboxes that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, it's just like Amazon versus like the private sites.
Well, it was not just like the difference between what a reseller was selling it for. It was like what that company was selling it for on Amazon was less than they sold it for on their own website.
Which generally doesn't make sense.
Yeah, typically is not the case. However, if there are resellers on Amazon they're selling against, to maintain the buy box, they will have to lower their price.
That really kind of sucks for them because then their profit margin's so much lower. Obviously, the work that goes into it is less. Mm-hmm. But I do sometimes intentionally make a decision about where I buy based on the price of the item and I guess how I feel about contributing more money to that business.
Yeah.
How desperately I want it.
Yeah. Did you buy anything?
Oh, I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I get really tired when I lay in bed at night.
Yeah.
And hit the submit button.
Yeah, bought a bunch of motorcycle-related stuff. Yeah.
I don't, like, I'm not one of those, like, people do, like, crazy stuff when they're, like, drinking and stuff.
You borderline sleep
my
by?
Tired, yeah. My tired is, like, the new drunk. Welcome to 30s. Let's see here. Clothes. We bought that TV, but that wasn't really a Black Friday deal. That was just, we needed one.
We had been watching to see if anything was going to happen price-wise, and the one we were watching had been basically at the same price. It was on sale for that price. Then the regular price became what the sale price was. And it just kind of bottomed out at $350.
Yeah. So. The week after Black Friday is always fun when you forget what you ordered. You know, It's like pre-Christmas. I'm honestly trying to remember. And other than clothes, I don't know that there was anything too life-altering this year. It definitely wasn't motorcycle-related if I did.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll say this. If you never went Black Friday shopping pre-2016 probably, I think was the big turning point. Maybe a little earlier than that, 2014-ish. But if we're talking late 2000s or early 2010s, Black Friday shopping just hit different.
Yeah.
First off,
you didn't mind being around people, first of all.
Well, sure.
People are icky now.
More of it happened in brick and mortar stores. There's something to be said, this is going to sound bad in some ways, for physically wrestling items away from another human being.
Yeah, okay.
There's something satisfying about it.
I have not done that personally.
No violence, no trampling people, but getting the last one of something,
grabbing but not stabbing.
Triumphant.
Okay, so I'm going back through my receipts. I did buy that vacuum cleaner.
You did.
That was a hot item. I bet you that's going to be on one of many wish lists this year.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of people on Instagram talking about it. It's the Tinco. If you know, you know.
And if you don't, and you have a significant other who enjoys cleaning products in your life.
I actually don't enjoy cleaning
absolutely
products.
Kill Christmas by buying them a Tinco.
So here's the thing is like, I don't like cleaning. That's why I wanted it though. It's because it simplifies.
In the same vein, yes. Yeah. But like cleaning gadgets as in things that make cleaning easier, right?
Because you had never heard of it.
Tineco for those who need that reference. It vacuums and mops at the same time, and it's pretty wild.
It's a wet
and
vac.
It cleans itself.
Self-cleaning. Yeah. It's got like a dashboard that's nicer than my previous car.
Yeah.
And Best Buy had them for like major discounts, and we had some reward points and stuff. So I would say if you've been considering it, the sales are real.
That is the closest thing to a vehicle or vehicle-related thing either of us purchased on Black Friday.
Well, it
is self-propelled and is battery-powered, technically an EV.
I was going to say, it's much easier to drive or push than our push mower. Like, that thing took off, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I need to like hold on to this thing. Like it goes so fast, but it's been an adventure. But I'm like, I only need our vacuum for a rug now. Like our entire house is hardwood and like rubber mats because our dogs are psycho. And my life has changed, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you regret not buying other than
the mini bike?
Mini bikes?
No, just
in
mini
general.
bike.
Oh my gosh. You've got a mini bike. The pit bike I bought you in like 2015 when we first moved in.
Mini bike. It's not a pit bike.
What's the difference?
Oh, do you want to know? So pit bike.
I mean, I asked.
Yeah. Okay. But that doesn't, just because you ask doesn't mean you
I want it in like 3
explanation
bullet
sometimes.
points or less.
Pit bikes are typically more miniature dirt bikes.
Okay.
That is not a miniature dirt bike. It has no suspension. It does not have a like traditional like motorcycle style engine that's a horizontal shaft engine.
So I don't know if I fully understand.
Okay. Pull up a picture of a dirt bike.
I know what a dirt bike is.
Okay. Now look at the mini bike. Does it look like a dirt bike?
No.
Okay. It's not a pit bike.
Oh, pit bike is a mini dirt bike?
Yes.
Oh, I think I had it flipped in my head.
Yeah. Pit bike is a mini dirt bike. Doesn't have to have
And this was
gears
a mini
most
bike,
of the
though.
time. Correct.
Is it supposed to be... Okay.
Yeah, it's a mini bike.
Okay.
The Greenworks one was also a mini bike, just electric.
Okay. Well, we will have to look into that later.
Yeah.
Once I feel flush with cash, we'll reconsider.
Yeah. Did you have anything you regretted not buying?
I wish we could have got more twinkly lights, but I really don't think those went on sale. I don't think that's something we missed. It's just something I'm sad that we didn't get, not at our own fault.
In hindsight, I probably should have looked at tool sales more.
Mm.
Not power tools, but just hand tools. I did buy something. It wasn't necessarily Black Friday, but timing was vaguely around then.
Still counts, ish.
I have given in slightly. I'm not jumping fully on board like Liza from Motorcycles and Misfits, but I did place an order from Temu.
Oh, is she a Temu?
Super into like Temu and Alibaba, AliExpress.
Has she looked at, and I honestly don't know, like the ethics of it. I mean, that's always kind of like the flag. But honestly, like if you're getting stuff directly from China and like it's not hurting anyone, like YOLO, like save your money.
Yeah, there was initially some stuff that kept me away from it. Basically, there was some stories that came out about whether or not the Temu marketplace was basically sheltering sellers that were utilizing forced labor in China. But arguably any marketplace can do that.
I was going to say,
it's been a few months and there's been no real follow-up.
If that's happening, then it's probably happening in more places than we're aware of.
Well, it's always happening in more places than we're aware of. But so the kind of trial order I placed just to see what was going to show up was a dent puller setup. Uses like the hot glue and like a, I don't know, almost like fancy pliers to pull the dent out. And then a little stubby 3/8 drive ratchet.
Stubby.
Yeah, like short handle.
Well, I know what stubby means. It just sounds cute.
Okay. It is cute.
It's a husky little thing.
I will say, haven't used the dent puller yet. That ratchet is a solid ratchet. It is.
So are you? Would you say you're satisfied?
Yes. The teeth, there are less teeth in it than my Cobalt. Not so many that you're like, this is a crap ratchet. If it had like Craftsman or Cobalt or some name brand on it, you wouldn't second guess it. I think I paid maybe $7 for that ratchet, maybe $5 from memory.
I'm going to be low-key sad
chrome.
if like this Temu stuff ends up working in your favor and I could have been buying things from there for our wedding.
Well, I will say it was kind of weird the packaging it all showed up in, but
what was it? Wasn't it just like an envelope or something?
It was like a white plastic poly mailer that was like taped into a ball and then just stuff like shoved in it. It was, yeah.
I probably had that from like normal places.
Yeah.
And how long did it take to show up?
Probably around a week. So I was saying, I think I ordered it a little bit before Thanksgiving.
Honestly,
it showed up, yesterday?
This time of the year, Amazon can be up to a week or more. So it's not really out anything there.
We did have in here, let's see what we looked at, what sales are still going on. If you are still looking for motorcycle-related deals, I know Harley, their Cyber Week sales are going on for a while after this drops. I don't know how long, but
probably
presumably through at least the end of the week.
Probably trying to get rid of everything from 2023 is likely their goal.
Yeah, and then all the Komodo-owned properties, so Revzilla, JP Cycle, Cycle Gear, they all still have their Cyber Week / Cyber Monday deals going on. What was the bullet point you put here for price tracking software?
Oh, because I had heard that some people think that these sales are scams.
Oh, to know whether or not stuff had been marked up to them.
Yeah, what do you use?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I don't use anything specifically.
No, I mean, I'll see. I use I think it's now called PayPal Honey, but originally it was just Honey extension, and it'll pop up on certain sites that has the price tracking data and show you what the most recent historical pricing has been for the item. For Amazon specifically, you can use Camel. That is Camel 3 times .com.
So just for Amazon stuff that works for. So
yeah, as far as I know, that's Amazon only. There's some I forget the name of the other one. I used another one the other day to check on some stuff.
Something that I forget exists most of the time, and more or less I just want to know if I'm usually only buying clothes online. Only other thing I seem to buy is groceries, and that's in person, so I don't really time to check there.
Yeah.
But clothes are all over the place. All right. So, have you heard anything about your Compacto?
So, I have shown restraint and not showed up at the dealership. I did email the salesperson who I was working with, and he said December 1st. Maybe, no promises.
He just wanted to buy a few days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we originally had read December 1st on Reddit.
Well, I'd seen all over the place, but he said mid-November.
Originally. So we're not going to hold our breath on that, but we're going to be optimistic. Realistically optimistic?
Well, I don't know what you're going for there, but I'll tell you if it's the right usage if you explain what you mean.
No, let's move on.
Okay.
But we do have stickers people can pre-order. Those have been up for now.
We've got a pre-order, at least one. Sold Harley van, the free Harley shirt.
Stickers are starting to move, man. I'm pretty sure we're going to be the hot item this Christmas.
Yeah,
so
if you need a stocking
get them
stuffer.
while you can. Or if it's for someone, I've had in my sticker store previous to this, I'd have people order things and write a note. You can literally we'll send it to the person you're gifting it to, so you don't even have to touch it. Because who owns stamps other than us? Let us just stamp it and send it directly. Yeah. Save yourself time, everything like that. So
yeah, if you want a gift message or something, just throw it in the order notes. But we will send stickers almost anywhere definitely within the U.S. International, I'd have to double check.
I have some international stickers.
Yeah.
I've got some Canadian. I say international, but I've only ever used them to Canada.
You mean stamps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stamps. Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually cost as much as people think it does to send something internationally. I think it's double.
No, as long as it's flat, machinable, and going standard post, it's normally not too bad.
Yeah, so stickers in general. Even if you don't buy ours, stickers are great.
Yeah.
So, you found some news, I see. I contributed
You actually put a few in here.
Yeah, I contributed about 20%.
Yeah. Well.
The other ones we're winging.
You want to start with the first one?
Yeah, so this was kind of like a quick Google. So best lightweight entry level motorcycle of 2023. I just kind of wondered if you agreed with it, because I think it's,
according to Dennis Chung of motorcycle.com.
Yes. He looks like a serious guy in his picture. So you can go through stats or whatever, but I'll just kind of spoiler alert here. They voted Kawasaki Eliminator as number one, and then they had a runner-up as well, which was Royal Enfield Hunter 350.
Yep.
How do you feel about this?
I agree.
Really?
Yep. Kawasaki Eliminator is the obvious choice because it's a Kawasaki. Best motorcycles made on the planet.
He's saying that with sarcasm. Yep. So don't come at us.
I'm slightly partial to Kawasaki, but honestly, I am intrigued by the return to the Eliminator nameplate. Mostly because I'm pretty sure I mentioned on a previous episode, I'm still holding out hope for them to bring an H2-based cruiser to market.
H2?
Yeah, Kawasaki's got their H2 platform, which is their supercharged 1000cc inline 4. And if they bring it to market as a cruiser platform, it will likely be underneath the Eliminator nameplate. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this choice of the 450 Eliminator as a best entry-level beginner bike. The Royal Enfield Hunter 350 is the runner-up. I mean, I don't know. Also kind of seems like a decent choice to me. It's a 350. It's pretty affordable.
Do you know the price points on these?
I don't.
I'll look up the second one if you look up the first one.
Hunter 350 says it's starting at $4,000.
Oh, okay.
With ABS standard. It says it is $2,650 less than the non-ABS Eliminators. So that'd put the Eliminator at $6,000 something. So,
which, if it's actually your first motorcycle, you can always find one used somewhere. I was going to say,
if it is your first used motorcycle, yes, consider used always.
It'd probably be like half the cost.
Within reason, probably used from a dealer if you're not good at turning wrenches yet, just to have some level of, I don't know, confidence that the vehicle is going to work and you're not going to hate motorcycle riding because your bike doesn't run.
Makes me think of you, how you talk about your favorite bikes are the ones that's running. It's always like, well, what do you have to run? You're like, well,
you mean whatever I'm riding at the time is like?
Well, yes and no, but it's usually like you'll be frustrated that a bike is down and it's like, well, your Vulcan is always the one that turns on when it's supposed to.
Well, it's the new fuel injected one. It has no reason not to run.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. Royal Enfield. Another new bike.
How many? I feel like it says fourth new bike.
Yeah, but we're kind of splitting hairs because they showed off the Shotgun 650 at Motoverse. The Shotgun 650 is another, obviously, of their 650 twins. I don't know that I feel it's that substantially different from the Super Meteor 650, other than the Super Meteor is more of a classic like cruiser. And this is more of a custom cruiser, meaning like bobbed fender, slightly different, just kind of look. I don't know.
I like the paint on the one in the picture.
We're splitting hairs on model difference, just like Harley has different models of soft tails, even though they're all variants of the soft tail. Royal Enfield's kind of getting to that point. The new Himalayan was a new model. All the 350s are kind of variants for the most part. All the 650s are kind of variants for the most part. So to say it's their fourth new model, I mean, I guess technically, but...
Oh. Well, I found that one and I didn't know any different.
No. I mean, it's still... Did you see the paint on it?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's got a pretty wild looking paint job. And they are sending... they just posted a video today of Roland Sands opening his crate. They're sending basically the tins... If you are not familiar with that vocabulary, that'd be like the side covers, the tank, the fenders.
Just the painted things?
Yeah, for the most part. Around and getting custom versions of them done.
I could see it targeting like a younger group based on the paint job.
Yeah, it's
kind of techie looking. Yeah, well, it's not like a traditional pinstripe.
Cyberpunk-ish is what they were shooting for, which is an interesting style to try and pull into a custom cruiser. It normally fits much better with like, I don't know, Street Fighter sport bike aesthetic. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes with the custom ones they're having done.
What's one more? Bring them on.
No.
Ooh, the silver paint is super cool looking. Did you see it?
On the 650?
Yeah.
I don't know that I did.
If you scroll down.
I'm scrolling. Oh, yeah, it's like chromey almost.
Yeah, and it's got almost like a pixelation vibe. So like I said, definitely
Well, they
giving
all have
me,
a bit of that pixelation thing going on.
yeah, it's a
It's like
little
a-
different treatment though on each one. So
Yeah.
very cool. It's different.
Yep.
Especially for Royal Enfield. Usually they go pretty
They're
traditional.
they're
in
moving
colors.
away from their neo retro look, which is good in some ways. At least they're progressing. I'm all for that.
Yep. Might as well try something new.
Don't lose your soul, but move forward.
Especially because everyone's saying how all the riders are like getting too old. Like there's going to be a new wave at some point, you know?
Yeah. Well, and India doesn't have the same problem we have in the U.S. quite the same way. Just because riding is more of a commuting thing there than it is here. But yeah, give me more bikes, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Triumph is kind of now officially, kind of put out the details for their motocross bike. It is going to be the TF 250X. It does the things. We know it's a 250. The big thing we were waiting for was the price. MSRP $9,995.
Woof.
So I went around and looked because I haven't really priced out motocross bikes, let alone 250s anytime recently. That is roughly, depending on who we're pricing it against, roughly $1,000 premium over any of the Japanese Big Fours. So is a Triumph dirt bike worth $1,000 more? I don't know until we see some real performance differences out of this thing.
Probably depends on your brand loyalty.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of rider you are and how much you want to commit to having the latest and greatest, because I'm sure it'll probably turn heads. Yeah. People will know. But
I will say the one thing I do like is the color scheme they went with. The predominantly black and white with this interweaving of a, I don't know, lime green, yellow, chartreusey color.
Does Triumph normally have a color? Is it blue?
No, I mean their logo is black and white predominantly, and then like because they're British, incorporate like red, white, and blue to some extent.
Yeah.
But
oh, now that you say that, that makes sense with their logo. They've got like a little British flag vibe going.
Yeah.
Look at them. Well, I feel like the motocross, they're kind of like younger, punk, bright colors. I
think the coloring choices are good. Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Cool.
We have a lot of new bikes around the world, ones that will probably never end up in the US, but have been in the headlines. And they show manufacturers taking maybe a bit more than just a little inspiration from each other. So the first one is Yamaha has taken, quote, inspiration from Honda. They are releasing, at least in Thailand for now, the Yamaha PG1. Have you looked at it yet?
Just now for the first time. Oh!
Does it look almost identical
to a or Trail 100?
Yeah, a Trail 125.
125.
Yep.
But I like the colors.
Spot on, except you can get it in teal.
And what's the price point? 1,300?
Well, yeah, but that's conversion from
bot.
Yeah, in Thailand to US. It's not accounting for the differences in transportation / freight costs and the fact that they're going to charge more because it's in the US.
I like it. I want one.
Well, welcome to my world where I deal with all these cool bikes that we're never going to get.
I only want one. You want one of everything.
Okay, but you won't get this one either. Probably not. It'd be cool if we did.
You never know. It might just take a while.
Maybe. But yeah, so it is pretty much spot on a clone of this CT 125 or Trail 125, other than it's a 110-ish.
Not a 125?
Correct.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't know. You kind of have to start splitting hairs to like justify differences between the platforms. They're real close.
It is really small.
Yeah. And don't think Honda's immune from copying a company, because Honda just did it.
Oh boy.
Did you see who they took inspiration from?
I saw the name. Yeah, Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I see that in the seat. So this one.
Yeah, so if you look at...
A little crate carrier situation in the back.
They're coming out with updated styling on their CB350, which still has not made it to the US and probably won't. But if you look at that, and then you look at a Royal Enfield Classic, like a Classic 350, you would notice that they're very similar. And in fact, if you look at the specs for both of them, you'll see they're very similar. Minor differences on the bore and stroke. Power outputs are about the same. Both 5-speed, similar sized discs, similar sized everything. And now the styling is very similar too. Down to the fact that Royal Enfield did their classic line in like matte finishes that were military-esque. I forget, they had a name for them. But they did like a kind of sandy color, and then they did like a olive drab. In Honda's press images, they're showing off kind of a matte sandy color, similar to what the Classic was available in for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's little subtle differences, but do you think they sit down and they're like literally like, let's make this?
Well, this bike is specifically meant to compete in the Indian market, where Royal Enfield dominates. And Royal Enfield dominates specifically in the 350 segment with their Bullet and Classic. So, I mean, you kind of got to take a shot across the bow and try and just siphon the people off. It is the equivalent in the Indian market of like all of the Japanese manufacturers copying a Harley-Davidson in the US.
I wonder why there's no like what the patent kind of process. If you saw someone copying your bike, they must really like be able to get around that.
Well, so the design of the bike, at least in the US, would be covered under a design patent. And a design patent is not the same as a utility patent. Utility patent would be like, I'm protecting this method of doing something, whereas a design patent doesn't give you as broad of protection because it's literally just like, I'm patenting like this water bottle here, like this exact shape, right?
Yeah.
So if someone made this with like one indentation difference, it's not the same design.
Oh,
right.
That's pretty easy to get around.
Yeah.
Is it Crocs the way that you know if you have an actual real pair of Crocs is you count the number of holes on the top?
Yeah.
So all they have to do is add one more or less hole and it's dodged it.
Well, and there was actually a lawsuit a few years back between Hummer and whoever owned Jeep at the time because of the number of slots in the grill of the Hummer.
Oh.
Because that is a specific Jeep thing. Is 7 slots from memory, although the military Jeeps were 5.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
Who knew?
Yeah. On to the next. What do we have after those? BMW R12. It is officially official. It is here. You can go see it on the BMW Motorrad website. It's not what I was hoping for.
Why? What don't you like?
So, it's fine. But all they did was they basically took an R9T, which is now the R12 9T, and put a different fender on it. When we saw the trademark R12 floating around, at least my assumption, and I think a lot of other people's assumptions, was this was going to be a smaller version of the R18. It is nothing like the R18, other than it is an air-cooled opposed twin. That's about it. It does not share the same frame styling. It is cruiser-esque. It's kind of along the lines of the Shotgun 650, right? Look at the rear fenders. It's kind of that bobbed custom. I know, as you nod along. But no, I mean, if you go back and look at the pictures from the Shotgun 650, right, it has the bobbed rear fender. It has kind of that neutral-ish, not full-blown cruiser, kind of standard-ish riding position. It's not sporty. It's just not what I was hoping for. I'm sure people will still buy them.
Is the Shotgun 650 going to be available in the States? Maybe this is the States alternative. No? Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, Shotgun 650 will be here.
It still looks like I like the size of this bike. Like.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the mid-sized, upper mid-sized,
yeah,
are the
like
bikes that
aside
I
from
like.
everything else,
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen so many bikes that are just like ridiculous. You know, this is like a manageable bike for someone who's like normal, like average sized, or maybe even smaller.
Yeah, to some extent, for sure.
There is no passenger seat on this.
Nope.
Any of these, so I'm gonna have to give it a very limited passenger rating.
On the R9 or the R12 9T now that it's being called. Yeah, they have passenger areas, but I'm sure BMW Motorrad is more than happy to sell you a passenger seat. Yes, in fact, if you scroll down on the R12 page, there's a bike with a windshield on it. It has a standard 2-up seat, so there's a passenger seat area. But it does not appear to be passenger-friendly stock.
Oh, wow, there's a place you can play the engine sound. Luckily, I muted before I did that.
I don't think it works on iPads.
Oh.
I didn't. You have your iPad? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never gotten it to work on a mobile device.
Oh, someone should tell them.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give us a free bike.
But yeah, 500-pound curb weight, 3.7 gallon fuel tank, 29.7 inch seat height, 95 horsepower. So, I mean, it's kind of got a lot of the stuff right if you enjoy the styling. It's just not quite there. I think I'm going to like the updated engine on this platform when they do like their urban GS version like they currently have for the R9T. I don't know. My feelings will probably change after I see someone customize it in some fashion, but I was really hoping for just a R12 sized engine in the R18 platform. It's a much more classically styled bike.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
So the next note on here, did you see I already had that one?
Mm-hmm.
Near the bottom. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yes. Actually, sorry. My bad.
That's fine. It was kind of just correlated with like the idea of like a gift guide.
Yeah. We'll come back to it in a second.
Okay.
Dennis Chung over at motorcycle.com. Just absolutely killing it.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about him.
Yeah.
He needs a new headshot, though.
Yeah. He is just absolutely killing it. I'm sure Harley-Davidson is very annoyed with him. If you remember, he was the same one who wrote the story as he sifted through the owner's manual that was published for the X500 and had indications that it was coming to the U.S. market, which Harley-Davidson has currently denied. He has kind of done the same thing through some internet sleuthing, through homologation information, as well as reading between tea leaves that most people never found. Has figured out that likely Livewire's next model is going to be the S2 Mulholland. It is going to be longer and lower than the current S2 Del Mar. That's all we know so far.
You think he's a true crime junkie?
Yeah,
is that why he has such good detective skills?
Maybe. But yeah, he's killing it over there. In other Harley news, they are selling off Serial 1, which is their electric bike division. Do you know if they're Serial 1 bikes?
No, I'm assuming it's the first of the first.
So yeah, their kind of tie-in was the first Harley-Davidson Serial 1 they had found and made a prototype of. And this is the kind of e-bikes that revolved around that. They have sold it to LEV Manufacturing as well as a VC firm. It's kind of weird because the Serial 1 thing specifically relates to Harley-Davidson, and now they're not involved. This also goes back to them removing Matt Levitich and all of his ideas for this Harley-Davidson that has all these things related to two wheels that will eventually funnel you into a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, them just hacking them off over time. So, yeah. Cool. Let's get into the gift guide.
Well, I didn't get super deep into that, but I wanted to maybe touch on a few things that we found. First one I found, and you said you had actually seen it like a few weeks ago, so that was a little bit less fun for me, but I guess you saw a different version.
Yeah, I found the one that I had seen, and I don't know, I guess I just remembered it differently.
So that would be the Royal Enfield watch they have that's coming out. To me, it was pretty anticlimactic. It looks like they kind of just took a basic watch and put their logo on it and then defended the colors that it was. That it's like, oh, but it kind of ties into Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
I'm not sold. I'm in marketing and I know how to like defend my design decisions based on what's easiest for me to create. And
this is in partnership with Unimatic. This is the Royal Enfield, what is it, the U4RE. The watch face itself, I'm on board with. The watch body being whatever weird...
Looks like concrete.
Yeah, it's like a
flat platinum.
Dulled titanium. It's kind of interesting. And when I saw it at first, it had a leather band on it. And I like it better with the leather band.
Yeah, this is like a canvas, like backpack strap.
It's like nylon webbing.
Yeah, not very classy. I mean, granted, it's not super expensive. Not for a watch. But
I mean, I don't know. At least give me some fake leather at that price point.
Yeah, so they have it priced at $588 technically, and they're only going to make 122 pieces. So it kind of seems like maybe just someone knew someone. Doesn't seem like a super high-end branding effort.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I looked it up when it first came out, the company had done crossovers with a few different other companies. Yeah, they had. So they seem to be ones that are good at doing these like co-branded watch deals. I don't know. If you've got a super big Royal Enfield fan in your life who's also into watches vaguely, or at least wearing a watch, you have a gift option for them now.
It might be worth something eventually. There's really...
Well, I think, because it's limited.
Yeah, the fact that it's limited is like more appealing than like any other aspect of it to me.
Yeah, there will be speculation. Somehow these will get pushed up to $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next one. So this, I don't know how close it is to being production, so not really gift guide, but I thought it kind of tied into like...
Yeah.
We both own heated gloves. So I use mine when I'm walking the dog. You use yours on occasion when it's like that weird, like maybe it's like a warm 50 or a warm 40 degrees and you want to ride.
My heated gloves?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, those were getting busted out more like, yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes at the 50s, but no, I don't know if you remember, I rode the scooter into like late December last year and it was like 20s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when you were like, you haven't ridden this winter too much.
Not in super cold weather. No, I've opted out of that slightly. Yeah, we'll see.
Because then you realize how cold your legs were.
Well, so that was the thing, was my hands were cold. And then you got me heated gloves. And then I realized how cold my legs were. So then I got, if you remember last year...
Those Tour Masters.
Yeah, like overpants. And those have helped a lot. And now my feet are cold. So
like
yeah,
booties.
Yep.
I don't know.
Just slowly eliminating whatever the next coldest body part is, because as you eliminate one, you find the next one.
So what triggered this is you're gonna have to explain this to me because I don't know if I fully understand where the power is coming from.
So Indian has patented a method for wireless heated gear. Pretty slick. So if you're familiar with cell phones having wireless charging. It's basically induction charging. You have one coil that you're passing electricity through. It creates an electromagnetic field, and you have a receiver coil on the other side of that electromagnetic field, thus transferring power through the air. They are patenting a method of embedding that basically... it's going to be slightly different, but essentially that technology into certain areas of their bikes to power heated gear, like embedding it in the grip areas to power heated gloves.
Yeah, so it says riding gear. So it sounds like it's going to be more than just gloves. It's like the whole outfit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I was just giving an example. So they're talking about like maybe embedding it in the seat area to power pants and jackets and stuff.
So do you need to be on a certain bike?
Well, we don't know yet. This is just a patent. At some point, It'll depend on if they offer this as a retrofit item or if it only will be, from new vehicles past a certain point they produce. So yes, you would have to have their bike and likely their heated gear, because right now I'm not aware of any heated gear that uses wireless power transfer of any sort.
Yeah.
So pretty slim list of you need both the bike and the gear once we get to the point that they're actually making it.
Well, so I've got a few things on here that like we've gotten for you if people need some general ideas. I'm not sure if you add anything. So
I didn't. I just figured we'd kind of roll with what you had here, and I'd see if I wanted to add stuff. So you came up with some holiday gift guide ideas.
Yeah, I didn't dig too deep because a lot of times I think gift guides are kind of awful. They're really generic, but
or they get way too specific because it's just like Amazon referral links.
And you're
like, but what if I don't want that one?
And you have to know like your people.
Yeah.
So it's like the ones I've seen for women are always like slippers and sometimes some overpriced facial thing. And like, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's not for everyone. So any of these, we had talked about doing one, but I'm kind of glad we didn't because it's just so hard to target people. But like easy things I came up with, like even for her, it's like, well, for me, I'm just excited to do things with you that aren't motorcycle related.
Yeah.
So it's like, we are going to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Like, that's super crazy exciting to me because normally all of our trips are driven towards things with motorcycles.
Oh, I didn't tell you we were taking the scooter up there.
Stop it.
In December.
Yeah, late December to Cleveland.
To Lakefront in Cleveland.
Yeah. I would opt out
I'll put the skis on.
Heated gloves, for sure. So I guess if you're like, if people out there, all of our listeners are like as obsessed with you are about motorcycles, just do something with her that has nothing to do with motorcycles. Here we go. Actually made it to the second one.
On to number 2.
Actually made it to the second one this time. And then, of course, there's like the easy generic like massage stuff. But really there's a few of these things for like the anyone section. If you want to support.
No, hold on. Before we get past this,
okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
So you say go somewhere, do something. You have on here like take a trip, stay at a hotel. Mm-hmm. Does it count if that trip is piggybacked onto acquiring a motorcycle in a different state?
Every once in a while you need to consider maybe not. I don't know. I guess it depends. Depends on your relationship.
Do you enjoy the experience more if we're doing more than just picking up a motorcycle?
If it means less responsibility, sometimes yes. Yes, I do. I know that may be shocking to you, but less responsibility means more relaxing and sometimes cheaper, because last time we went on an adventure, the bike was the cheap part and like the room and board and everything else actually ended up costing more.
Yeah.
Food. But it sucks because I feel like you're only happy if there's a motorcycle wrapped into the trip. So, like, I would like to say,
that's not entirely true.
Let's do something completely against motorcycle, or not against, without bikes. But every time we go to the beach and you don't have one, you're sad. But when you do have one, you don't ride it anyway. So I don't.
That's not true. I've only taken a 2-wheeled vehicle to the Outer Banks with us twice. The one time, I rode the entirety of the Outer Banks, top to bottom.
Yeah, but getting it there and back was stressful.
That's fine. But that's beside the point. Okay. The only other time, we took the scooter specifically for our wedding. I know. And then you were upset that I did not want to go ride the scooter.
It's true.
That was underpowered for the speed limit of the area we were in.
I'm still salty.
Okay, we will take it back next time and we will ride scooters.
But then it's like, well, then you need a trailer and like...
No, we'll put it on the trailer hitch now.
Oh, I guess that's true. It just seems
not trailer hitch carrier.
It just seems like that complicates things sometimes. So like, I would like to go on like a nice 1 or 2 day trip, or maybe 3, just me and you, no bikes, actually relaxing, not having to worry about any logistics.
What if it was? No, it's a little different because we don't have this kind of bike right now. But what if they had like a big touring bike and could like pack luggage and like drive to like upstate New York,
You've
Vermont,
already
or whatever.
Completely made the entire point of the trip irrelevant. To do something, if someone doesn't like motorcycles, Don't push them into anything motorcycle related.
We're not assuming that. What I'm saying is if they're into motorcycles enough that they enjoy riding motorcycles, does it still count as a gift for them if the way of getting there is by motorcycle?
It depends on your relationship.
Okay. Just asking. We need points of clarity.
And your partner's relationship with bikes. I guess if everyone enjoys it, do what you want. YOLO. That's fine.
YOLO.
But I'm saying that, like, not everyone wants to be limited to being associated with a bike all the time.
Yeah, that's fine. Just asking for clarity, for other people out there.
Yeah, other people, I'm sure. Yeah. So, and then most of the stuff that you could label as like a air quote for her situation. If you just want to support, like, sometimes people genuinely don't need anything, but you do want to, like, support. It's a great opportunity to support a business you like. Mm-hmm. Shirts. I feel like everyone's got shirts. Stickers. Go Fast, Don't Die. I get tons of ads from them.
You said this is for her?
It could be for anyone. There's ones on there that I don't.
For her, but this could be for anyone.
Yeah,
this is kind of the intermediate.
Yeah, and I think they have a lot of shirts that aren't necessarily motorcycle related either. They're pretty generic. So, like, if you want to support, keep your money in the industry. It's the off season. Make sure your money's going to people who aren't necessarily selling bikes right now, or I guess they really don't anyways. But it's probably slow season for them. Just being intentional about that. I have our stickers on here.
Yeah. So as far as shirts, Go Fast, Don't Die, Fast House, Lowbrow Customs. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. One of the shirts that I always enjoy when you wear, if I can find it.
The one that's oversized?
Yeah.
Because you bought the wrong size and I got to inherit it.
Yeah.
Everybody won.
The Sport Wang, or whatever he called it. JC Cycles, I think it is. Yeah. It is the combination of a Goldwing emblem and a Harley-Davidson emblem. But he's got other shirts. I'll find it and put that in the show notes too. But any of your kind of, like, I don't know, motorcycle adjacent brands, most of them have shirts and hats and
and everyone likes
various
a hoodie.
Merchandise. Yeah.
Like, whether or not it's super relevant.
Harley-Davidson. My sister does not love motorcycles the way I love motorcycles.
She might even hate them.
She may hate them. She owns more Harley-Davidson shirts than I do.
And it's so funny.
Loves Harley-Davidson shirts.
People, like, take it so seriously.
Petrified when I'm on the bike.
Hasn't she been asked what her bike is?
Yeah.
Like, when she's in the airport?
What do you ride? Nothing?
My
car? Yeah.
So we also have heated gloves on here. Kind of touched on it. So, like, I was wearing your heated gloves a couple times when I, like, shovel the driveway when it was like 20 degrees or below, and yours are just so big that I eventually asked for my own, and I wore them the other day when I was walking the dogs. They're a little bulky, so they're not necessarily like an easy go-to for everything.
You're not gonna have like super great dexterity in them.
No, don't plan to use your phone. But if it's 20 degrees, you don't need to be on your phone. My personal opinion. Touched on our stickers. I'll mention that as many times as I can.
Yep.
I've got Solo Stove on here.
And if you don't like our stickers,
buy someone else's.
Yeah, there's other stickers around.
There's enough stickers to go around.
They're great. Happy things you enjoy looking at. Stick them on cups, your laptop. You can put them on your car, but maybe don't put them on your paint, especially if you have someone who, like, cares about the paint on your car, whether you do or not.
And don't put them on your laptop either. They leave shadows.
Well, it depends on what your laptop body's made out of. But yes.
I put them on my one MacBook and it left shadows. Luckily, it was just going back to Apple, so not my problem.
Yeah, put a case on first, then put stickers on it. It's great.
Yes, and something else we've talked about doing with our friends is doing, like, a sticker swap, so as a way to, like, buy each other gifts without, like, having to invest in, like, some insane amount of money, not knowing how much the other person's spending, anything like that. We haven't secured a date yet, but doing a sticker swap, because all the people we'd meet up with do buy stickers pretty consistently from local artists and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool way to kind of, like, more than a gift, but not quite the investment.
Yeah, but you can also find something that shows, like, one, what the other person's interested in, mm-hmm. or, things that you think are important to both of you, right? And yeah, they're just fantastic.
Or just be completely sarcastic and buy them something about
or make it funny, right?
Yeah.
but no, like I've got stickers on my toolbox. I've got stickers on the one water bottle now, thanks to you.
Uh-huh.
My one laptop-ish that I don't use anymore has stickers on it.
I've got
put them all over the place.
My water bottles are important because
they're on a couple of the bikes.
At the gym, there are many people that have similar water bottles, so it makes it easy to identify which one's mine.
Yeah, and if you happen to own a black Harley, like maybe put a sticker on it so you can tell your black Harley away, apart from all the other black Harleys. Yeah.
Just in case you're not original enough.
I mean, my black Harley has stickers on it.
Did you put them directly on it?
Yeah, they're on the battery cover.
Oh, okay. So it's not on the paint, obviously. But
No, it's on the battery cover, which is replaceable. But like I put, I put them on the saddlebags of the Honda. But
you got a covers or something.
I put clear vinyl down because I knew I didn't want to put them directly on the paint, especially because that bike's it's an
vintage.
81, trying to keep it original, but wanted to be able to spice it up and also protect the paint. Put the clear vinyl down, throw your stickers on there because it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. Another easy go-to is a solo stove. I have that on my personal list because I think it would be fun.
I'm glad you managed to work this in here somehow.
I kind of forgot I did. It must have just been to be. But when we were at Mid-Ohio, I couldn't believe how few fires they were. It just hurt my little pyro heart. And I think there should be more fires. Granted, I don't know if everyone there should be trusted with fire.
Well, someone ran into a fire, so...
They ran into it?
Yeah, they had that little grill running, and a dude thought it was a jump and just drove straight into it.
The depth perception was obviously off due to the late night.
Yeah.
Everything. Due to the noises, his depth perception was off.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, we have a tabletop one that when I was working for a startup that blew a lot of money, they bought it as a client gift, and I weaseled my way into getting one. And they have modified it so it now uses
They have pellet
pellets,
adapters, yeah.
Which is super cool because you don't have to worry about burning like when you go camping at campgrounds, you can't burn certain woods that aren't...
You can't bring in certain woods.
Yes.
But you also can't necessarily pick up firewood in certain parks.
Because you can spread diseases if you burn woods that aren't native to the area. And stuff like that. So super cool.
But pellets are also easy to store, easy to acquire.
Food safe, fit all the different sizes, make a lot of heat. There's no reason not to love them. And they keep adding stuff to it. It really is a cult following. Yeah, and in the beginning,
all the accessories.
I just thought it was silly. But then I joined the cult and it's fun here.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, sign you up for the cult.
Yep. Solo cult. And then for you... You can always add more about things that you want but even just if I was to provide you with a gift card and say, let's go to Iron Pony, you'd probably pee a little. So I threw that on here that something like that, like the gesture is sometimes more valuable than the gift itself. If it was like $50, you can go to Iron Pony and buy a shirt.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a new bike. Just go to Iron Pony.
Doesn't have to be, but it could. It wouldn't hurt. In case anyone out there shopping for a gift for me.
Make sure you
I currently
forget your wallet.
Wear a size Himalayan in Royal Enfield motorcycles.
Do they even have those?
Himalayans?
Yeah, at Iron Pony.
No, Iron Pony doesn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No, if you're shopping for me specifically at Iron Pony, let's see, what do I wear there? I wear a Ninja H2 size in Kawasaki motorcycles. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish
or any Sprint 150 in Vespa scooters.
Yes,
those are available also at Iron Pony.
Oh God. Or a $20 gift card.
Sure.
He would just be flattered if someone wanted to go with him. So
yeah.
If any family is listening, just offer to go with him. You don't have to buy him anything. I promise he'll still be a kid in a candy store.
Listen, I said last year that for my birthday, we were just all going to go to Iron Pony. That didn't happen.
No, well, what you should do is tell Iron Pony they need a party room. Obviously, the facility was not made for you.
No, the deal is because it's down the street from IKEA, we go to Iron Pony.
God, we wouldn't have time to do both.
Then we go to IKEA for lunch.
Oh my God, I would be so overstimulated. I'd probably cry on the way home.
Yeah.
So next on the list, you got one a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
A motorcycle lift.
Yep. If it's in your budget and you've got someone in your life who does not have a motorcycle lift, so if you don't know what a motorcycle lift like This is a table you pull a motorcycle onto, and then it basically has a hydraulic jack that raises it up. If you've got someone in your life and you've got the budget, Harbor Freight is one of probably the most used motorcycle lifts around. Not necessarily the most high end, but it gets the job done. I use the daylights out of mine.
Save your back. And
makes stuff so much easier bringing it up to chest level to work on stuff.
Sometimes you store motorcycles on it too, so it doesn't have to be wasted space in the garage. You can still
pull a bike on it, park it there. Yep.
This time of the year, I think we mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
A garage heater. You've got a couple now. Do you have a preference?
It just really depends. So it depends on where you are geographically, what kind of space you're trying to, heat. I don't remember how many years ago we bought that kerosene one, but
it's been a while.
Yeah, I've got a little smokeless kerosene radiant heater. I think it's a Dynaglow brand. It's like almost 25,000 BTUs. Pretty efficient on the kerosene. And basically between that and a fan to kind of circulate the air, we've got a, 2.5-ish car garage.
Yeah.
2-car door. Pretty generous space.
I should measure our garage and motorcycles. That'd really throw people off.
Yeah. If I hang them from the rafters, probably about 35 motorcycle garage. Yeah.
If one of us braves up and actually puts our head up in that loft someday to figure out what's living up there, you may actually be able to make an elevator
and a whole other floor of storage for motorcycles.
Just a pulley system.
Hell yeah.
All you have to do is do a pulley system, and then you can swing it over and ride it off.
But anyways,
that's like
pretty
under
large
$200.
Surface area, and I can get it up into like the low 70s in there with that thing.
Yeah, and it looks like Lowe's has a Dynaglow kerosene for $160.
Yeah. Yeah, so, a kerosene heater, or a propane heater, whenever I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, torpedo heater is normally the first answer because it forced air heating in some ways, so it helps circulate. The only problem with torpedo heaters is if you put them on a thermostat and they kick on and off, or if you're just running it continuously, no one can hear anything. Okay. They're just loud.
Yeah.
Right? And the radiant kerosene heater, was it Dynaglow?
Dynaglow.
Yeah, what do they call that? What model is it?
23800 BTU.
They don't have anything.
Convection indoor outdoor kerosene heater.
Okay. Yeah. There's no sound really. You get a little kind of fluttering from the wick burning.
Kind of sounds electric almost. It's so quiet.
Yeah, I mean it's
smells
darn near silent. You only really get smell when you shut it off, or if you relight it after having it shut off for a short period of time while everything's hot.
So kind of like a candle. You don't really smell until you blow it out.
Yeah.
Don't forget the kerosene. And is it a blue jug you're supposed to put that in?
Yep. Kerosene's blue.
So you don't want to buy the kerosene.
Yeah, but
Where can you buy kerosene?
So near us, Sheetz, Marathon.
And it's just in a pump?
Yep.
You
can also buy it prepackaged. Yeah.
Does it have like a blue handle on the pump?
No, it's a whole separate pump.
Oh, it's like one by the gas station or something.
Yeah, you've gone with me a few times. I'll make note of it next time I take you to get kerosene.
Oh, wow, I cannot wait.
Yeah, but you could do an electric heater, 110 and 220 options. Like I said, just really kind of depends on what kind of space, what temperature you're shooting for, what your ambient outdoor is. We had bought a little portable air conditioner that also has like a heat function during a period that our home AC went out, and it has now become a garage AC unit. Now, it doesn't fully keep up on the AC side of stuff, but the heating side does help as long as it's not super cold out. Like this time of year, it's not going to do that great. I'm going to be like full kerosene. But whenever it's like 50-ish, it takes the chill off.
The humidity out of the air a little bit.
Yeah.
The electric heat, maybe. Would you say the electric heat works better when it's humid? Like if it was like 50 and raining out, is there a preference?
No.
Well, that's good.
Not to me, at least.
Anything else that I've got shirts on here, like Harley shirts. That's such an easy default.
Yeah, I mean,
such a Walmart option. It's just like easy, affordable. Like, I don't know. Like, is there anything else you can think of that you've bought, even for like your dad or someone that you think is like?
Yeah, I mean, tools always. I guess if they work on their own stuff at all, tools. The problem is if you're not sure you kind of almost have to ask them in some ways.
Make a list.
Yeah. And, you know, if you ask them to make a list, maybe nudge them, be like, hey, are there any tools you need? Because there's always like little knick-knack stuff that's great. You know, one of the best things I got recently that didn't cost a whole lot was this little kind of rubber silicone work tray instead of a magnetic dish. So I can like set it on a surface and it kind of is non-slip and it's, you know, not going to hurt whatever I set it on paint wise. And it's got a couple little spots to put screws that like holds it. And that's just kind of open tray area to like set whatever tool I'm using on it. It's fantastic. I think it was like $15 or something. Yeah. $10. Right?
And even if you had a couple of those, it wouldn't be a big deal because you might need them both. You might lose one.
Yeah. If you've got someone who, especially like if they're going places to work on stuff or are big into having like tools with them when they travel, tool bag of some sort, toolbox.
Portable lights.
Yeah, portable lights.
You can never go wrong with portable lights because even if you have, obviously even in our garage, you're at a weird angle or something. Or who knows? Bonus points if you can double it up, since I'm a very practical gift giver, for something that works in the garage but also works in case of emergency. And you need like the lights, like when the electric goes out. Sometimes we're grabbing our garage lights or something like that. Like those types of things, kerosene heaters, you know, like we have a generator that we've had on standby, you know, things like that can kind of double, or you can lend people out. I don't know why we seem to have so many power outages here, especially just because of the storms and stuff. But like I said, if they're genuinely people that feel like they've had everything, it's like, well, what would they need in extreme circumstances?
Yeah, well, and that kind of leads into like, so if you're traveling or otherwise, like emergency stuff, like a battery jump pack. They make these little tiny lithium things that'll jumpstart a car. I haven't luckily had to use mine yet, but I'm glad I bought it. I've lent it out a couple times.
I had it in my car and my alternator was going funky a couple months ago.
Bagel jump-started his van at Vintage Days with it. It's just a handy little thing to have. If you've got someone who travels a lot on their motorcycle in your life, small air pumps. They've got all these battery-powered ones or ones that'll run off the 12-volt system of their bike.
So you know what I thought about just now?
Yeah.
Is we should be rewarding this because the people listening are the people that the gifts would probably be for. So it's more or less things you could ask for than things you would buy for someone.
Put it on your list.
Because it's stuff we've used. And you think too, like even those portable lights, if not when the electricity goes out, if you have any interest in camping, going to festivals, you know, even just tent, you know, like solar powered things, you know, that's great. It's fun and you're not really out anything.
Yeah. To kind of round out the whole like traveling thing, Dynaplug. Dynaplug is one of the few tire plugging solutions that is like rated to drive on, like that doesn't involve dismounting the tire, that says like you can put this in and you can go down the road. You know, the old school T-handle, like rubber rope stuff, like everyone's done it, but those aren't really designed for on-road use, especially long term. Dynaplug's small. I've got one. I've used it once on the Aprilia. It's great. Speakers for the garage. Bluetooth speakers or radio. I listen to podcasts all the time.
Yeah.
That's why we're banking a podcast right now, right?
And the nice thing is you can pick something for your price point too. So like I have like a JBL speaker that's probably like, I don't know, 10 years old. Yeah. It's really good for $100. But if you can throw $300, you can get a much better one. Sure,
but not even that. Like one of my favorite small portable Bluetooth speakers I've ever owned was an 808 Hex, I believe. It was like a $20-some speaker. It's fantastic. Bass response was wonderful.
Another thing to think about, like if you're traveling and you stop to eat or, you know, even sometimes in our hotel rooms, I'll grab a speaker and take it with us.
Yeah.
Something just to have a little better, obviously, space as space allows, but... Yeah.
But no, it's great.
Really up your mood.
Put music on in the background, podcasts on in the background while you're working on stuff, you know, and if you're... The other thing that comes in handy a lot is having the speaker out there if I'm trying to like listen to someone's YouTube video on how to do something I'm trying to do.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really
keep going.
Out. I mean,
some type of the one thing that's come in handy. I did not think I was going to use this as much as I did. So I killed a phone from the vibration of my engine on the Rascal because it's a single cylinder, very vibey. Took a phone on a long ride.
You have a quad lock for that one?
No.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did.
Nope.
Oh, you had the little
I had
hand
RAM mount.
thing?
Yep. I had a RAM mount, which I still love my RAM mounts, but they are not vibration dampening. At least they now have some vibration dampening options, but killed the image stabilizer in one of my iPhones. I ended up doing some research, found Quad Lock had a vibration dampening solution. There's another one that I will remember hopefully before I'm done talking about this that other people use that's a similar design to Quad Lock, but I've liked Quad Lock so far. It locks on pretty positively to the bike. There's a bunch of different mounting options. If you're not sure, you can just start someone with the case and get them a gift card and they can buy whatever mounting option they want. Same thing if you're putting this on your list for someone to buy you, at least have them start you with the case because the case is kind of the starting point for your phone. But the cool thing is they came out with cases now that are MagSafe compatible on iPhones.
Ooh.
Where that comes in handy is this whole phone is magnetic now. What? So I can stick it to a surface.
Oh, like a hood or something.
Yeah. So when I'm working on a bike or something, I can stick it to the gas tank or the side of the engine if it's magnetic and have my phone there with YouTube playing for whatever video I'm watching. Right?
I thought you were going to say you had your phone there so you could see me calling you.
Well, also that. No, but I mean, like, and then I don't have to worry about it falling as much because I can, like, stick it to my motorcycle if that's magnetic or the side of my toolbox or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh. Battery pack. Back to the whole jump box thing.
Well, even, like, riding a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like especially if you're using it for GPS and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, you can get, like, USB adapters to run off your battery. If you're buying for someone, maybe don't go that route because you can't make assumptions of, like, one, what their ability is to install it, or two, whether their bike's going to support it well. Just get a battery pack.
There was something else I had. Oh, is there a good actual external GPS yet? I know you were looking at some in order to save your phone battery.
I mean, there's GPSs around. So the one that I keep staring at multiple times, I've probably looked at it. I don't know how long they've been out. Probably as long as they've existed. Beeline.
Is it literally just the letter B?
No, I believe it is. Let me pull this up. BEELINE.co. The title of their page says Beeline Motorcycle Sat Nav. So Beeline Moto, their GPS is different than most. It will do turn by turn, but it also will let you choose your own route. And it just tells you, like, which vague direction you need to ride. So you can say, this is where I want to go. And it goes, cool. You need to go this direction for 50 miles. And as you go down roads, that arrow will turn. So you will know the next, junction you come to, whether you need to make a left or a right or go straight or whatever. And it's kind of like a choose your own adventure for every ride you go on.
And what happens when you go past your spot? So it doesn't tell you where you're turning. It just tells you to turn.
You can have it do turn by turn. I believe they've added that now. But the whole original thing is beeline as in a straight line, right? So it tells you what the straight line is.
Oh, I love
you choose your
that.
path.
Love a good marketing name.
Yeah. So Beeline's out there. Garmin has made some motorcycle-specific GPSs for a while. Who is the other one? Give me a little fill here while I do some Googling.
I'm looking at this Beeline Moto. Where does it pull the information from?
Your phone.
Oh, so you have to have like an app or something.
Yep.
That it pulls that all from. So if there's a detour and you go past it, it's gonna like automatically reroute you. It comes.
Well, like I said, if you have it in the arrow mode, it's just going to be constantly pointing to where you need to go. So you go past it, the arrow's going to change direction, right? Yeah. Whoever, I guess it's just Garmin now. I think Magellan is who I was thinking of, but I think Magellan went out of business. Magellan. Oh, the other phone case, Rockform. Stacy Wilt, Ride to Food. If you're not familiar with her, fantastic Instagram. Her YouTube's great. Website's great. Everything she's doing is awesome. She's a big fan of Rockform. he said, I went quad lock. I don't think you're necessarily going wrong either direction. Whenever I looked at it, I liked the fact that quad lock seemed to be a little more positively locking onto its mount. But whatever you prefer.
I'd say that's a pretty good wrap up.
Yeah. If we come up with other great ideas or
things you want for Christmas,
awesome sales, between now and Christmas, we'll probably throw them on here. But yeah.
Take notes. The thing I don't like about sales and stuff, it's like, well, you don't know how long they're always going to last. And so it's like, well, by the time you see them and the time that people go look.
Good point.
And then like
follow us on Instagram. Our Instagrams will be in the show notes. If we see something really awesome, we'll probably put it on our Instagram stories.
If we eat something really awesome from Costco,
that's
been be on my Instagram post.
That's been your gig lately.
I'm never cooking again because Costco has ready-to-go meals, pre-cooked meats in the refrigerator and freezer section.
Yeah.
And I'm a millennial, and I'm lazy.
They also, for a while, were selling e-mopeds made by Segway.
They must have sold out.
I think Segway discontinued them.
I have a hard time feeling like people are going to Costco to spend $1,300 on a Segway bike.
I don't know, but they're electrically powered two-wheeled devices at Costco that I get to stare at every time we go.
Yeah, I need to stop inviting you. I'll just send you pictures of, I don't know, the large tubs of candy.
Okay.
All right, well.
That it?
That's it.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next week. See ya.
Bye.